Hey, welcome. My name is Robyn Heron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. I am also a certified health coach. And the reason why I am doing this carnivore way of eating, G, go ahead and hit it, show my picture. I was struggling with my health, my weight. You can see in my before, I had eczema, I had 2 black eyes and a black circle around my mouth, and I was yo-yo dieting for many, many years. Carnivore has changed my life, and that's why I'm here. Introduce yourself, G.
All right. So, hi, everybody. My name is G Brown, G Brown, the lifestyle changer. And what changed my life was
A man barely alive.
yes, that's what started us on this journey. Unlike most people, I did zero research. I did not see one video. We heard about it through my brother and we started it immediately. I was a vegan for 4.5 years. When I saw within a couple of days that my husband was no longer struggling, that was enough for me. So we come before you guys to share some information and hopefully you stay tuned so you can hear because we got a guest today. Go ahead, Robyn.
We are so excited to be here tonight. So, this is our show. This is Hey Sister Girl, where we talk about real health, real food, and real women getting their vitality back. Tonight, we have a special guest, and her name is Pumi. Welcome, Pumi. We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here too.
Pumi embodies strength and transformation. You might know her as Carnivore Cutie. But tonight you're going to meet her and you're going to learn all about the woman behind her brand. She's built a lifestyle that's about so much more than food. It's about freedom, confidence, and thriving. So grab your water or grab your steak and let's dig in.
That's right, Robyn. I'm so excited to hear her story. It's going to inspire you. It's going to stop playing small and start living strong. We are all about that here. We're talking health, mindset, movement, and the power of meat that heals the body and maybe even reshape your life. So, before let's get started. So, welcome to Hey Sister Girl. Let's start with your story. Who were you before all this began?
Oh my gosh, I was the girl in the girlfriend group who had the most painful periods. I was the girl texting every 28 days, guys, this cycle is killing me. And no one else could relate. And so I always thought, I must be the problem. Something's wrong with my body. I'm doing something wrong. And so I spent all of my 20s and all of my working life spending all of my salary on pills, doctors, dietitians, books, everything I could do to try and heal my period. I have done every diet that you can think of. I've taken everything possible to heal my hormones. And yeah, I've spent a lot of time, energy, money trying to heal my body. So that's my previous identity. So much has changed ever since I found the carnivore diet. And like you said, G, your husband changed within a few days. And I've spent 15 years, you know, spending money, time, energy, trying to heal myself. But meat showed me symptoms reversing within a few days, just like your husband. So yeah, that's who I was. I was the girl with blood sugar dysregulation. I would always get dizzy 1 or 2 hours after eating a meal, the same meal that everybody else in my family had eaten. And, seeing that and being the odd one out, I've just spent my whole life trying to fix my health. And I even went vegan at some point because you get so desperate that you believe everything and anything that you read, and you try anything and everything because you're so desperate. And so, yes, at some point I did go vegan. And this morning I was watching a video where a lady said the prerequisite to carnivore is to go vegan. And that's definitely my story from one extreme to the other. But I'm thankful for everything along the way because I've never felt better. And in 90 days, things changed for me, especially regarding my cycle.
That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing a little bit of your story with us. And I think this is the thing is that so many of us are coming from a very similar place, whether it be with hormone dysregulation or, weight. We're trying to deal with our weight. We're dealing with, high blood pressure. We're dealing with all different kinds of issues and not realizing that it's the food that's causing us this problem. We're stuck because we're frustrated because we're trying to do exactly what they told us to do, right? We are following those things to the T, and it's always like we're being non-compliant, right? We're not being compliant, and that's why we cannot accomplish our goals. We're not able to, regulate our hormones, and we're not able to basically lose the weight and keep the weight off. It has nothing to do with compliance. So can you tell me what was the first change that you noticed when you went carnivore that told you that you thought that this could actually work?
So it was truly amazing. It was the best day of my life. I think it was about day 3 of carnivore, and I noticed that I was able to fast for the first time in my life. I wasn't getting dizzy. I wasn't feeling hungry, and I wasn't feeling unstable after having my breakfast. I was so used to eating at like 9 or 10 in the morning, and by 12 o'clock, I needed a top up, whether it was a snack or another meal. And I noticed by day 3, I would eat at 9 or 10, and then I would go through my day. I would work, I would do the housework, I would just live my life. And the next time I thought about food, it was about 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't get dizzy today. It was crazy. And I was like, okay, out of all the diets I've done, this is the quickest I've ever seen results. And actually, the truth is, it's the only time I've ever seen results. I can't say anything else gave me any benefit. This was the first time I thought, okay, something's changing, because if you can regulate my blood sugar in 3 days, what else are you going to do for me? And that's what made me stick to it.
That's wonderful. You hit on the vegan part, and I like on this show, we want to bring you information. There's nothing about body shaming. And one of the things that I do show is my picture, and I showed this prior to. That was me on the left on the standard American diet. In the middle, those were my vegan moments. I spent 4.5 years as a vegan. Somewhere we feel as if vegan is the top of the food chain. It's
Yeah.
like you'll hear people say, oh, I'm a vegetarian. I'm trying to let this meat go. I'm trying to let this go. And the reason why you can't let it go, some of it is because your body really does need it. So the fish that you're eating, your body is actually craving it. And so I can relate to you in regards to that. But let me ask you, once you got past those early stages, what was the mindset shift that you had that kept you going? Because you saw results, but what keeps you going in this lifestyle?
It's so many things. But like I said, my main health issue throughout my life was my painful cycles. And now um, I understand that I had endometriosis and I had PCOS. And the PCOS I actually developed because I went vegan. Before, I just had painful cramps. Yes, they were debilitating painful cramps that kept me in bed for 3 days during my cycle. But once I went vegan, it got worse and I developed PCOS, that stabbing pain in your ovaries. And so I did carnivore for 1 month. And that first cycle that I got, I noticed I didn't need painkillers. And so when you say what kept me going, the lack of pain kept me going. Why would I want to go back to pain? And the longer I've been carnivore, the less the pain has gotten. And by cycle number 4, which was month number 3 on carnivore, the stabbing pain had gone away and I had reversed PCOS, which is apparently irreversible. But here I am without PCOS anymore. That pain completely went away. And I was happy, but I was also very angry because I thought, my goodness, what a waste of time. I have energy, money, and all I had to do was eat the proper human diet.
That is
That
so
is
amazing. You know, I find it fascinating that my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's 40, just had a hysterectomy
Oh
because
no.
of endometriosis and severe debilitating periods. You know, I mean, sorry guys, for the guys that are watching us tonight, but just, you know, bleeding through and all of this kind of thing that she suffered with for years. It was mentally, um, I mean, it caused severe depression. It caused her to go, I mean, just all these rages and I mean, just all kinds of problems with hormonal issues and endometriosis. And ultimately, there's for Black women, I feel like this is, you know, that's what happens to a lot of us. So many people in my family have had hysterectomies
Yeah.
because of, because of fibroids, endometriosis, and it feels like that is a go-to for the African American community. Is that, and I know that you're from the UK, so but for Black women, you know, they will suggest a hysterectomy. Even I was supposed to have a hysterectomy, and I did not have it. I just waited it out until menopause. Literally, but I was suffering with what I self-diagnosed as endometriosis because of the symptoms that I was having. So it's interesting that the food that you are eating can actually benefit, you know, things like PCOS and also endometriosis and painful periods.
Let
Yes.
me add really oh, go ahead. I just wanted to add with you, Robyn, and this isn't something that we've talked about on the show, but I had endometriosis, and with that, I kept trying to hold on the body parts. I had 3 unnecessary surgeries. First, it was the uterus and the cervix. I'm like, let me hold on to my fallopian tubes and my ovaries. And then they said no, because I kept getting these large cysts. And I'm like, but that's supposed to take place because you have a uterus. But then I kept
Yeah.
getting them. Now knowing it was the food. And so I no longer have my body parts I was holding on, but lost them each and every time, all because no one was able to let me know it was the food. And that's the reason why we have guests on. That's the reason why we're doing what we're doing. So, ladies, you don't have to fall through the cracks like this. Go ahead, Phumi.
I was going to say, your point about Black women suffering from reproductive issues. I'm
Mm.
actually not from the UK. I just live in the UK, but
Oh,
I'm from Zimbabwe,
oh,
and I
okay.
used to live in South Africa as well. But even in Africa, trust me, it's the same because we eat the same. We also received the same food pyramid. So
Mm.
we've been eating the same. Yes, it's not the same foods, but it's all based on carbohydrates and sugar being the basis of your diet. So I have so many friends with fibroids. It's literally trending right now.
Mm.
And, you know, endo and PCOS is the most common problems amongst women. They used to say over 30, but it's the age is getting younger and younger. And yeah, lots of people have lost their uteruses unnecessarily because the doctors don't believe you.
Mhm.
Not only they don't believe you, they don't even know how to fix it in the first place. Yeah, so I totally relate. Black women are suffering a lot, and that's why when the carnivore diet did this for me, that's when I realized, oh my gosh, I need to share this. And that's what inspired me to start my channel and my pages because I searched for relief and an answer for so long, and I couldn't find it until now.
Well, let me just say this. Let's get a little practical because a lot of times we talk and I want to know, what does your carnivore life actually look like? What do you eat? How do you train? And how do you handle social situations? I know that's a lot, but just let us into your life for a little bit. So if someone wants to mimic what you're doing, that they have these issues, give them what it looks like to be you.
So what I eat is that I focus on the fattiest meat possible that I can find. So whatever I see, as long as it's red meat and it's fatty and it's a good price, that's what I eat. But my favorite meat of all is lamb, because lamb is very fatty and very satiating. People love ribeye in the carnivore community, but I've found that it's kind of overrated. I much prefer lamb because lamb is naturally fatty. When it comes to beef, you actually have to look for a fatty cut. But when you buy lamb, lamb chops are fatty, the lamb ribs are fatty. It's just, and what I now know is that the fat is what heals your body the most. It's what regulates these hormones that I've been trying to regulate for so long. And also, the fat is what keeps you satiated. And I don't know about you, G, but when I was vegan, I was my thinnest self, my less attractive self. I lost all my curves. That was my experience. And carnivore has given me back a voluptuous body, and I'm feeling like a woman for once in my life. So that's also thanks to the fat. So if you want to feel like a woman again, whether you're coming from a bigger body or a smaller body, the fat is what's going to do it for you. And then regarding training, I didn't train in the first 90 days of my carnivore journey because I just wanted to give my body what I wasn't giving it for so long. So I took a break from training. But now that I'm much further in my journey, it's about month number 9 now, I've started doing Pilates, and a very intense version of Pilates. It's Pilates by Izzy on YouTube. And the usual Pilates videos you see are very chilled vibes, and but this lady will have you shaking like this after just 5 minutes into the video, and I love it so much. And for once in my life, I can actually exercise fasted, which was never ever possible before. And that's thanks to the meat and the fat and the blood sugar regulation and the reversal of insulin resistance that the carnivore diet has done for me. And regarding social events, I actually went to a wedding yesterday. So I'm very proud of myself. I didn't have one thing that was served, and it was all my ex-favorite meals or dishes, like breaded calamari. That was one of my favorite things to eat. They also had fries, and they put it right there in front of me. And I just looked at it and I thought, it's me against you right now. And thankfully, I didn't even have a little taste because it's just not worth it. I've cheated before, especially after those 90 days when my cycle was pain-free. I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm healed. I can do whatever I want now. And I reintroduced foods, or I thought I could. And my body immediately gave me feedback saying, no, slow down. You're not ready for this, and you don't need it. Not only that, you just don't need this stuff. And so when I looked at those potatoes yesterday, I just thought, yeah, whatever. I don't need this. They brought bread with dips. And the previous me would have been like, oh my gosh, just a little bit. But even that little bit causes inflammation in your body. Just a little bit. You don't have to eat the whole thing to cause inflammation. I'm telling you, especially when it comes to gluten and the glyphosate in the wheat and all of that, it's just not worth it. But yeah, if you are going to a social event, I suggest you eat your carnivore meal before you go so that you're not tempted. And if it's like going to a friend's house or a family member, I suggest that you tell them in advance that you are only going to eat meat so that you're not ambushed when you get there, when you announce it in person, oh, I'm not eating this, because that's when people will try to persuade you to just have a little taste. But if you tell them in advance, they are prepared to not offer you, and you are prepared. And that's how you can avoid getting into temptation.
Absolutely agree. I love what you said. I want to kind of go back to that, um, the voluptuous body, because having been on all the diets like you, I have some very thin pictures of myself. Like I was skinny. First of all, I still had two black eyes and a dark circle around my mouth. No matter how much I weighed, it didn't matter. But I lost a lot of weight, and in fact, I was sorry, I got a little distracted there, but I was, very skinny. My neck was thin, like
Wow.
it looked like I had a big head and a tiny neck. It was so weird how my body would lose all this weight in the neck. Of course, the breasts were the first thing to go. So it's like all of a sudden you don't got nothing. And then I realized, like, first of all, Steak and Butter Gal talks about butter boobs. I will call them fat boobs because, yes, when you eat fat, you don't lose all of your breast tissue like the way that you do when you are eating a very low calorie way of eating. And then I realized, like, the shape of my body, um, as we've gone along and we've incorporated additional movement, the 14,400 steps a day. She does 15, I do 10. But
Wow.
still, as we incorporated that, I realized, like, the shape that I thought my body was not actually underneath all the layers of fat that I had. Even when I was skinny, I still had layers of fat. Um, my body shape is different than what I thought it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. But yeah, I think that's fascinating how our body utilizes that fat in good ways, to support our systems, and then to also, give us the body that a woman is designed to have, I guess I would say.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes.
I didn't have that wasn't my vegan experience. Because the vegetables kept me inflamed. Because vegetables turn into sugar as well. And then a lot of times you find yourself eating a fruit salad, thinking that, this is okay. All the pasta, whether you have egg yolks in it or not, all of those things still kept me inflamed. And now I eat as much as I want when I want. The only thing, and Robin, that's why she said that, the only thing I must burn before I eat. What does that mean? I get up every morning. My watch ended up telling me today, I think 280 something days. I forgot what it was. I was looking at him, but his eyes are closed. Of continuous, I decided in 2025 that I was going to put me first. I promised my husband, you'll never have to wipe my butt. I don't want to be my nurse, and I don't want to be a nurse. I want us to travel. And one of the things that the audience, if you're first time here, you don't know, I'm actually on a cruise ship right now. This was the turnaround day. So there's so much food, and I can say to you and look at you very closely and say, I have not cheated in regards to food at all. There isn't a bread, a pasta, a fruit, a vegetable, a cookie, a pie, a bean, nothing on here. Jello, pudding, it doesn't matter. When I look at that like you, it represents pain to me. So why would I want to participate in that agony? And so, and it's easy to do. It really is. My memory works very well. I remember getting back injections. I remember being on Percocets for 3 years. I remember all of that. And with that, the life that I live now is so different. um I'm going to take your part, Robin, because we all have some highs and lows. But let me just ask, what has been your biggest lesson so far? What's something um the old you wouldn't believe about the woman that you have become now?
There's so many things, but I think I never thought that I would get to this point. I never knew that it was possible to have a painless cycle, because if you go to any doctor, they'll tell you this is just part of being a woman. If you go to your family members, they'll tell you, I had the same, it's part of being a woman. That's all they say. And every time I heard it, I just thought to myself, really? God made me for this. This is what I'm on earth for, to be in pain every single month. It didn't make sense to me. And that's why I kept trying to fix it, to no avail. And so to get to this point in my life where it's literally painless, and I just never thought this moment would come. And I think my friends never thought the moment would come for me either. And yeah, now I have so much hope for the future, because I mean, if I can have a painless cycle, that means that I don't have to look forward to having high blood pressure, diabetes, this and that and the other, because if I can heal this, I don't need to have all those other things, and it's possible not to have them. And now I see that it's true. You being sick and getting sick as you age is not supposed to be everyone's reality. It's not supposed to be anybody's reality. And now I see and I believe that we're not here to suffer. It's not the way it's supposed to be, even though that's what the messaging is. They tell you this is what's going to happen at this age. You're going to lose your uterus at some point. You're going to get this at some point. Childbirth is supposed to be painful. This and that and the other. Like goes on and on. There's so many lies. And now my eyes are so open to what life can really be like.
Mm-hmm.
It's so powerful. It really, really is. Because I think what you're reminding us of is that healing doesn't only change your body, but it changes your identity. I just want to speak to the young lady that's really suffering with periods and let you know that Pumi is evidence that that is not a normal way of being. So many things that we have accepted as being a normal way, it runs in my family. You know, my mom, my personal mom, she had the same thing. She would just have to lay down for a day or two when she had her cycles, and she ended up with a hysterectomy. My daughter, the same thing. So when we call it a generational type of a thing, or this runs in my family, is because the way that you eat is running in your family. And
Mhm.
so, sister girl, if you are that person that is suffering with those painful, painful periods, PCOS, endometriosis, fibroids, this does not have to
What's
continue to be
PCOS?
polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it sounds like that's what you had, because you had those big cysts that kept popping up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
I did. I say, wait a minute. I'm not. PCOS. What was that? Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Okay, so that's what it was called. I
yeah.
Man, let me just ask this one question. What would you, Carnivore Cutie, what would be that one message that you just want to get out? Whether you're pulling it from your channel, and you guys make sure you follow her, whether you're pulling it from there, what is that one thing if nobody knows? Because see, in my family, it was blamed on Eve. Well, because she's sin. That's the reason why you have this. That's what I heard. What
Yep.
is that one thing that you would just get that message out to women?
To women in particular, well, to anybody really, is
Mhm.
that when you talk about sugar, it's not just sweets, it's also the savory, but not only the savory, is also vegetables. Because I only learned that a few months ago. I didn't know that vegetables count as carbohydrates and sugar.
Yes.
When I realized that, I thought, oh my gosh, my staple food has been sugar my whole life, and I didn't even know. And
Mhm.
so that's why when you go vegan, you're actually on a sugar diet. It's not a plant based, holy seeming thing. You're actually eating sugar only. And that's how, you had inflammation. I had lack of nutrition, and my body was just so frail because sugar is inflammatory, sugar is poison. It's the only legal drug, and it's everywhere. It's in every sauce, it's in every salad, whether you're thinking of the lettuce or whether you're thinking of the salad dressing. Sugar is everywhere, and that's what you need to get out of your diet. You need to get carbs out of your diet, especially if you have a metabolic disease. And who doesn't have one? So just everybody needs to just stop. And I'm not saying go carnivore, but at least do that.
Awesome. Well, Pumi, we're so grateful for you joining us today and sharing a little bit of your story, because it is women like you that remind us all that healing is possible. You're living proof that healing is possible. Tell us again, how long have you been on this way of eating?
It's only been 9 months, but my life has changed in those 9 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you would really encourage people to just like I just had a conversation and said, wait a minute, no vegetables? So you would really encourage someone to just eat only meat?
I really would. I Even if you don't do it for your whole life, do it for 1 week. And after that week, you'll tell me that you want to continue. And then I'll tell you, okay, do it for 90 days. And your life will never be the same again. Like you'll feel like God has placed this favor upon you, and you'll feel so good, and you'll just have a new outlook on life. Not only will your body change, but your mind will change. You'll be more emotionally stable. You'll be a better person for the people you love.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Listen, I just have to say, because I didn't think that at this point in this conversation that I would feel like I'm tearing up, because Robyn and I come on every Monday and really share this story with people. I say it feel like I went up the mountains and got the 10 commandments and came down to say, thou shalt not eat vegetables, thou shalt not eat carbs, thou shalt not eat bread. And people look at us like we're crazy. And we really try to find people, the Black community. It's like, I'm not saying everybody's not important. I'm not, but we're very, very skeptical people. And for us to meet you all the way from the UK, and you're eating only meat, and you have a phenomenal story. So many young girls are having issues with their cycle, whether it's irregular. You just have no idea that this way of eating is going to change. This way of eating is going to bring so much greatness to your life. You just have to find a way to love yourself enough to try it. That's it. That is it. And I have to add this little bit, because my girl over here has an entire coaching business. She is a certified nutritionist. That part we both are, so we know what it is that we're talking about. But she's put together a phenomenal platform to help people. It's like this is a true calling on our lives, especially for her. She has a wonderful program all together. You can go to robynherron.com, carnivoregrandma.com. You can find this information out. You don't have to walk this walk alone. There's a group of women that we have that encourage you every day. Listen, ladies, and we keep saying it for ladies because y'all mostly are the ones that's cooking the food. You're the ones that's serving the plate. And whether you realize it or not, if you're not doing it this way, you're actually serving a casket. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yes. Yes, indeed. All right. So, in addition to that, we do have a Hey Sister Girl Facebook group that is open to you. That is a free thing that you can join and come in and just be a part of our community. We would love, love, love to have you there. And so, we want to just make sure that you are aware that we're building a community here. We want to make sure that you are supported as you are transitioning into your sugar-free carnivore way of eating. I want to
Carnivore
encourage her.
Cutie, how can they reach you?
Oh, yes, that's
So
what I was going
I
to.
am on all the social media platforms. I have a Facebook page, Instagram page, TikTok page, and you'll find it under CarnivoreCutie 8. And then I also have my YouTube channel, which you can just search CarnivoreCutie Pumi and it will come up. And then I also just signed up to start coaching, learning how to coach as a carnivore nutrition coach. So I'll start that soon and I'll be taking clients as soon as that's done because I am so ready to help anyone and everyone. So get in touch. My email address is also carnivorecutie8@gmail.com.
The number 8, right? That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep, and
Perfect.
we'll make sure that all of those details are in the description box below. So go and check out the Carnivore Cutie, not the Carnivore Cutie, Carnivore Cutie 8. Go check out Phumi, and she's doing some really, really fun stuff on her channels. I've been watching, consuming her content, and it's very, very good. So go and support her channel. All right, you guys, that is it for today. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.